only time Camille gets banned is against Tribe. I don't think any other team has banned away.
Hey, if you want to play support and do damage, I mean, Lux is exactly just perfect for that position.
Yeah, I mean, Lux doesn't offer the protection for her AD carry, but as you mentioned, it offers...
But though, a little bit of story time for Game Lord. Other events they've been playing in the European region, they won 2 games, which is rare for Game Lord, but they did win 2 games, with an Ezreal play by Azuri and also Seraphine getting picked up. So they got, so far, 100% win rate on that Ezreal and that Seraphine, which is very out of the ordinary in the competitive scene. So they went for both at the same time, which is very surprising. I'm really intrigued to see if Game Lord can execute on it, because Seraphine is not a meme pick whatsoever. They told me, I talked to Azuri in the Twitter DMs, and he said they've been training this for a few weeks.
It hasn't quite translated fully into Wild Rift. You know, the abilities obviously being tweaked just a little bit for the mobile adaptation, but still is one of those picks that if you can get one of those big ultimates off that just hits an entire team, and you have that little bit of extra shielding and healing, it can be a very, very impactful throughout. So, and also that early bottom lane control, if you can land those roots, it can be extremely powerful as well. So we're going to actually see maybe just a little bit of level 1 shenanigans, a couple people grouping up here, but now everyone is going to back away, and things will kind of just be a standard start here.
A lot of these champions in these 2 drafts aren't great really early levels, especially level 1. You want to try and get them to level 3, especially to try and go for those early fights. So it's just great for the 2 teams to take this one really passively. But now I think is a good time to start talking, especially about patch 2.1b. We have been moving all over the place with the patch. Yesterday did not get applied, unfortunately, but today it is applied, so we are officially in patch 2.1b. And now lane swaps are just not going to be that viable of a thing. They did very similar to what League of Legends PC did back in the day to avoid lane swaps, and they just increased base armor in mid tower and also Baron lane towers. So now you should almost all the time have a 2v2 matchup down in the bottom side of the map. So it is good. We're back to like a normal state of League of Legends, which I gotta say I enjoy a lot more.
Yeah, they actually went even a step further than what the PC client did, and by having it be the towers get bonus armor when there's multiple people attacking them in the first 3 minutes of the game. So, and it ramps up pretty hard. I believe it's like plus 100 armor if you have more than 2 people attacking the turret at
it's 100 for... Is 100 for 3, 200 for 4, and 5. And for 5 champions, it's 300 armor. So that tower's just going to go full defense mode. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're going to be seeing a lot of these more standard lanes. But one thing we didn't really talk about is the fact that this is a Gragas support with Seraphine in the mid lane, actually, for the side of GML, and it's Gragas support is one of the, again, it just kind of shows the flexibility of this champion. A lot of people play it jungle or even in a solo lane. But now here it is in the bottom lane as a support as well. Well, here comes an early roam. Perhaps it looks like it's just going to be Friend, making sure that Emperor Duck can secure that Scuttle Crab.
Yeah, making sure they can keep the vision, especially because you are playing with this the Shyvana, so you want to try and have control of the Dragon Pit as long as possible, so they need to keep vision onto that one. But seeing how the Shyvana's roaming, going to go into the enemy jungle towards the red side, she might be having the intention of going for a sneaky gank onto both Azuri and Hegman. Going to be clearing out that camp. They have no vision so far towards that position. Fight's going to be roaring up. Nice route with a Blade Call onto Hegman, though. They're going to keep on fighting, and here you go. They're forced to fight. Dragon ultimate from Emperor Duck. The flash is going to be used away, and Emperor Duck in a really bad spot will be able to make it out just fine. But Azuri about to hit level 5 very soon. Maybe after this wave, one sneaky ulti can maybe steal a kill onto Doom, but he's going to go right back to base.
And so now they're going to have the information that the Shyvana was down in their bottom side of the jungle. We'll see if Reza decides to play around this at all. He goes right to his Raptors, but now where he pats after this camp is going to be very important, because if he knows that Shyvana was in his bottom side jungle, he should also know that the top side of this, the blue side jungle of the red team is where Shyvana is likely to be now, because she did that. You know, they saw the early clear up top, and then knew that she was in their bottom jungle, but he just goes ahead, hits the vision cone, and then goes back to his red buff. So a nice start here for the Shyvana, able to steal away at least one camp, tried to make that gang cap in the bottom lane, didn't get anything out of it, but didn't use anything really to make that happen either, other than the ultimate, which is going to be available again before they have another fight.
Then on top side, Leon going to be in a 1v1 fight with Ika. Unstoppable Force is going to be up unavailable. Leon also got his own ult available if he wants to, but seemed like the commitment is not going to come out for those two players. So back to a little bit more of a passive state. Especially, do you not want Fjord to get ahead early on? Because unfortunately, otherwise, if she gets fed, she's just going to keep split pushing, use that teleport to join into the fights, and she's going to be unbearable to deal with. As early on, get engaged upon. Unstoppable Force, not going to be used up by Ika. I think he was expecting a repost from coming on through to deny that initial damage and CC. But at the end, Shyvana is going to be roaming up top. Emperor Duck maybe looking for Ika, but thanks to his passive, he's going to be able to soak up any extra dose of damage initially coming on through. As Game Lord and Tribe slowly going to set up towards that Dragon Pit, and we might be seeing a big fight currently happening here. Oh, there you go. The Real to Friend's going to be unfolding straight into the Seraphine Encore. There's going to be a lot of CC instantly into the Dragon Kick, but Friend, he's a tanky boy, he's a tanky cow, and he's good to go. As now the flash away from Razor to make his way back to safety, and Tribe, they know they win this trade. They know the health bar aren't looking all that great, though nice snipe from Azura on the side with the Ezreal. And now, because they're not so healthy, this might be the opportunity for Tribe to look for the kills. Great Featherstorm from Doom. Finds the very first blood of this game for Tribe. As now they're going to be looking for a few extra, though. Overstepping is welcome, maybe for Friend. Forcing a flash away from Moogly. That is a close call for sure. And under tower, that's going to be a very dead Doom. And he goes a little bit too deep. And the Shyvana also takes down the enemy jungler, as in the hands of Lee Sin. Friend almost going down to that dragon. You got to be careful. But right now, this should be a Drake for Tribe Gaming.
Yeah, beautiful ult there from Hegman is actually what knocked Doom back into the turret range as he was looking to try and get that kill onto the Gragas. So a nice play there, but as you mentioned, does ultimately go the way of Tribe when all things are said and done. 2 kills to Tribe and the Dragon. That is going to be a trade they will happily take. You know, may not have gone quite as cleanly as they would have liked, but it is still very much a win in their books. One thing I wanted to actually talk about a little bit is Ika on this Malphite. Love the fact that he went for the Bramble Vest, as his first item while laning against the Fiora. Being able to cut that healing that she gets off the passive dramatically is a huge buff, and there's going to be a nice engage with the rest of the team collapsing. Unstoppable
Force is not going to be up for Ika, but they do not need it. That's going to be an instant death. Doom gets him bullied out of this game twice. He goes down, but then the bottom side, it's going to be a 1v2 from Leon. Picks it up, procs the ulti, going to heal up. And Hegman going to have to try and use that barrel to make his way back to safety. Great stuff from Leon, though. The repost able to block away the body slam CC and damage. And Leon just popping off in that 1v2, dominating the field.
Yeah, very strong. And again, that's part of just the fact that you have a solo laner going against someone that was in the dual lanes. With someone like Leon, who gets a nice lead, though, but gets knocked back into the turret. Does get out for now, but Ika is going to be on the hunt.
Maybe able to get it. One little rocky boy and a pebble. Will he get the kill? No, he makes it out in time. No Q indeed. That's such an unfortunate one. But now actually the Shyvana gets the Herald. And that's going to be some extra usage they can go. And especially with a Herald when you have a Shyvana on the side is so damn useful. Though Emperor going to go right behind. Going to go straight away for the ulti. Putting Azuri in a CC state. And there you go. This is just, I got to say, Tribe Gaming smurfing. And that should be an easy tower falling in the top side.
Yeah, their macro play is really on display here as they're just moving around the map extremely well. And the fact that you have someone like Leon who can deal with those 2v1 situations like we just saw is such a boon for this team. Now in mid lane, though, they're going to be looking for another dive.
Headbutt pulverized, Moogly falls eventually. Hegman, though, trying to do a lot of work. Nice follow-up from the Lee Sin. Razor's there to try and deal out the hurt, but seemed like, especially Friend on that front line with the Unbreakable Will, he's going to be soaking up all of that damage and feeling absolutely nothing. But yeah, especially Leon here, he's going to go for the fight once again. Going to pop the ulti, shown that here he has the intention to go for the kill. Ika does have the Unstoppable Force, and I think that Leon realizes that does not want to commit in the tower, otherwise it could be given Ika an opportunity to take that kill. So he's going to be just taking it chill and forcing a backport onto Ika once again. But Leon is just doing so much damn work. It's impressive. As Razor, though, in the mid lane, going to be burning maybe to a crisp. The Featherstorm is not going to hit just yet. 3-man knock-up instantly from Friend. That's huge, but the follow-up is just not there. Tribe having to move away from that fight entirely. Hegman flashing forward. Can he find a kill onto Friend? The heal comes on through. The Redemption's there also. And Tribe just keep on surviving and pick up everyone in the mid lane. What a dominating fight for the boys.
Absolute disaster there for Game Lords. They looked like they had a great start to that fight, but Hegman actually misses the Gragas ultimate, and that is such a big tool to not get anything from it. As soon as Tribe sees that, they decide to go all in on the fight, knowing that no one's going to get knocked back into the tower range any longer unless a Lee Sin kick comes through, and they immediately just jump all over that fight, find themselves multiple kills. And Doom, especially now, sitting at 3-2-2, the only member of Tribe to have fallen thus far this game, but he also has 3 of their kills as well. So he's going to be just fine, sitting at the second most gold in the game, actually. Shyvana, with the 7,700 gold, is the current leader.
Not gonna lie, Doom kind of throwing, kind of feeding pretty hard. If this was a usual rank game, you would be saying right now ADC diff. At the end, is still going to be looking amazingly good for the entirety of Tribe, and really good uses by the way of the Herald. Shyvana popped into the top side, forcing a response, for the side of Game Lord to split themselves pretty thinly. And now, because of that, they know that Drake is up, and because they have a Shyvana, this is such a good winning condition, so they could normally get that one pretty easily. Leon is pushing the top side, but he does not have the teleport yet, which is not the case of the Malphite. He's got teleport, so if he wants to reposition towards this Drake fight, he should be able to do so pretty quickly, as Razor jumping over a little bit too early. Shyvana joins the fight. Nice Ezra ultimate. Going to get a little bit of tick damage. Encore connects. Will not be the most impactful one. And Shyvana able to get it on, like, I believe 64 HP. The Razor too deep in that fight. Will fall eventually to hands of Doom. He's making up for those 2 deaths of earlier. And now this is just going to be Tribe pushing their way forward into the enemy jungle. They know they can't catch up, so they're going to give up for the time being. But man, once again, that control of Tribe is just nuts.
And again, the initial engage looks so good for Game Lords. Having the Seraphine ult followed by the Gragas ult coming through, they got so much burst damage, but they just don't have any of the follow-up damage that needs to come through in those types of situations. Lee Sin tried to go over the wall, tried to get that steal, very nearly got it. As you mentioned, Dragon got down to about 60 health, so really could have gone either way, but it does once again get secured by Tribe with another kill, and no one falling for them as well. That's the biggest thing, is they're able to get and build this gold lead just by not dying. It prevents so much potential gold from going over to their opponents, and that's why we're sitting at about a 10,000 gold lead here, although Leon is going to be in trouble. Gets the riposte, tries to get an ult off here, see if he can get the healing.
Oh, Redemption coming out. Is it going to be hitting him? No, Leon makes it out just in time, and Razor will not be able to close the gap. Those are 2 massive ultimates, by the way, taken out by Game Lord. No Dragon Kick and no Brutal... wait, I forgot the name of the ultimate actually for a second there. What the hell? Man, my brain just... brain fell right there. What's happening? But at the end, Tribe here in a pretty good spot. They're going to engage. Nice double man knockup into the Pulverize, putting Razor in a really bad spot. Doom, though, taking quite a bit of severe damage. He's got to be careful of how he positions Featherstorm to make away with that CC, and Friend will eventually fall for once the cow is taken down. But now as Emperor, this is making matters so much worse for the entirety of Game Lord, but actually taking a lot more damage than he was initially expecting. He's going to burn to a crisp. He's going to go and make his way back to the heel of the honey. The honey fruits, he's going to be good all around. But Snitch, a little bit of an overstep. He does have the Valkyrie to make his way back to safety if needed, but seemed like he's just trying to force that Baron buff to get those towers. But as of right now, he's just not going to find it.
And while all that was happening, we just saw, obviously, Snitch pushing in that top lane. Meanwhile, Leon continued to push in that bottom lane. Both inner turrets on the side lanes are now gone, and it is just this middle inner turret remaining before all 3 lanes are down to their inhibitor turrets. So really, again, the macro play from Tribe is carrying them through this game. They're able to win these fights as well, but even without the team fight wins that they've been getting, just their ability to move around the map and get the objectives wherever they want them, pretty much almost seemingly at will, has been super impressive, and it's kind of just been their MO throughout Mobile Mayhem thus far. Is all Lee Sin going to be caught here, just getting bounced up back and forth. Does go down. Guardian Angel is going to bring him back up, and he immediately falls once more.
It's just nothing that he could do at that point. It was like, oh, it's just Alistar. We're good. We're gaming. And unfortunately, no, the entire team was right behind that wall, and he just did not expect it. Great engage by the one to Ika. Unstoppable Force going to be popped away, but unfortunately, it's a little bit too squishy, though. The health bar of Tribe are not looking all that good, especially thanks to Moogly and Azuri, able to poke from a distance. They are actually gaming here. This is such a great fight. Going to go for the snipe onto Snitch. He will be able to survive a little bit longer. He's still got the Valkyrie coming up, hopefully very, very soon. Hegman going to go for the fight. Can he find it? No, Hegman not able to get the final bit of damage, and he's not going to be able to find it, but that's because Leon pushed the top lane tower. The inhib does fall, and he's just going to be keeping that pressure down. No, Leon a little bit confident on that one, but Game Lord had such a good opportunity, but Leon just ruined it all for the side of Game Lord.
Here's the problem with the fact that, you say Game Lord had a great opportunity there. It was 3-on-5 because Leon and Emperor Duck were busy taking Baron. They got themselves Baron. Leon gets an inhibitor turret, and meanwhile they're like, oh, okay, we traded 1-for-1 or 2-for-1, I believe it was, in a 3-on-5 fight. Like, that is something you take every day of the week if you're Tribe. They are so far ahead that they're willing to just go in on these all-in engagements. 3 versus 5, they don't even care because they know that they're getting objectives. And meanwhile, now with the Dragon Spawn, they are going to be taking this one. This is the Infernal. This is going to be even more impact for the side of Tribe. 8% increased damage across the board. Meanwhile, Leon is just still doing his own thing, pushing in mid lane. He's going to be in a little bit of trouble, but actually, nice job dashing over the wall to avoid the party brush that had been set up by GML. And now Tribe looking to perhaps maybe push in here. No, they are going to be backing away as both Snitch and Leon recall back to base.
Emperor is feeling so confident, he just used his ult to jump over the wall to make into the pit. He's just like, ultimate, don't need it. We're already so far ahead. You might require it to close that gap, especially on the likes of Azura. It's got very high base mobility, so I think it's still something you want to keep in your kit as long as possible. We've got to keep in mind that, hey, you did mention it, Snitch and also Leon went back to base. Great 3-man CC, though the Encore's going to come on through, dodged away by the Feather Storm from Doom, so that's going to be really good on the execution side of things. They're going to re-engage. Good stuff. Razor put extremely low, going to have to dash his way back to safety, but this is going to be Hegman and Ika falling to the ground, and nothing they can do will change that outcome. Now, great engage, headbutt pulverize. Azura in a really bad spot, trying to blink his way to safety, but the damage is just too damn good for Tribe. Snitch picks up that one, and this is just might be game number 1 of this series going in favor of Tribe. One more kill along the way could be great. Headbutt pulverize once again into the ultimate of Emperor Duck, and there you go. That seals the game, that seals their fate as Tribe Gaming take game number 1 versus Gamelord.
By the way, Leon was still just pushing bot lane that whole time, so 4v5 victory there for Tribe. Leon was pretty much almost never with the team this entire game, just doing Fiora things off in the side lane and out of the 18. So it just kind of goes to show, again, the macro play of Tribe being able to get so far ahead that they don't even need one of their players with them to finish off these games because he's just constantly